Crystal Vanway here in Phoenix. This one goes out to all of you who are tired of shoveling snow and want to start shoveling some sunshine. This morning, let me just say, first of all, today is November 10th. And this morning, I was driving my kids to school, and the weather report on the radio came on to announce it's going to be 90 degrees today, and it's probably going to be our last 90-degree day of the year. So we're going to have to suffer through some 80-degree weather, maybe even some 70-degree weather. So I got my sweater on, so I'm prepared. But, that's just what we have to put up with here in the fall in Arizona. So if you kind of want a taste of that, you're not alone. I was just on the phone yesterday with a buyer who lives in New York and is ready to trade in his snow shovel for some sunshine out here. So he just had some general questions about how you buy a property in Arizona, and I thought they'd share that with anybody out there who is in the same boat and kind of wants to know how we do property sales out here compared to where you come from. Because every state does them a little bit differently. So first of all, of course, you got to find a house to buy, and that's a pretty big challenge for a lot of buyers. Last year it used to be more like a swap meet. This year, to me, the real estate market's more like the Black Friday after Thanksgiving, where everybody goes out and they're hunting for those really great deals, and there's a few great deals, but mostly you're just duking it out with huge crowds for the same old stuff that you could buy, later. It's kind of like that now. It's pretty crazy. So get ready to write a couple of offers and do, your homework and get a house under contract. Once you have that done, you're going to go ahead and work with the title company. You're going to open escrow with the title company, and you're going to put in a small deposit, about 1% of the purchase price, and that's your earnest money deposit, and that opens up the escrow account. And that's sort of the beginning of the period of the escrow period. The first 10 days or so, it's usually 10 days, but sometimes it's a little different if you're buying a bank-owned property, is your due diligence. You're going to do all your inspections, check title, go over the CC&Rs if you're an HOA, do all of the investigating to make sure that property is going to work for you. And if anything comes up during the inspection period, then you're going to work with your realtor to work that out with the seller. So once all of that is figured out, your 10 days is gone, you can do it ahead of time if you get it done early. But once that's all finished, then you're going to work on closing the transaction. Now, if you're paying cash, then really all you have to do is sign the documents to transfer the deed. If you're getting a loan, you're going to finish with your lender, get all of that done, and then they're going to send the loan documents to the title company. And at that point, you can come in and sign the loan documents and the associated deed transfer paperwork. We don't typically use real estate attorneys for residential transactions here in Arizona, and it's very rare for the buyer and the seller to be at the table at the same time. The seller comes in at their convenience, the buyer comes in at their convenience. And once everything's all signed, then it's time to fund the transaction. Now, if it's a cash deal, the buyer just wires in the cash. If it's a loan, the loan docs go back to the lender. They review everything, and then they're going to wire in the funds to transfer the funds over to the title company to fund the transaction. Once the title company has all of the documents signed and they have the monies in-house, then they're going to go ahead and record the transaction with the county, and it's at that point that the transaction is considered closed. And that is confusing for some people who come from other states. They've signed the paperwork as the buyer, and they're ready to get the keys, but sometimes the transaction doesn't record until the next day. So it's not until it's recorded with the county that you're the official owner of the property. So that in a nutshell is kind of how we do it here in Arizona. It works great. And, a lot of houses get sold that way. We like it. So if you have any questions, or if you're looking for maybe somebody to buy that snow shovel, maybe I can help you out there, just shoot me an email at kristen@hereinphoenix.com. I'd love to hear from you. Make it a great day.